money is cool, but money is not the motivator. Having a peaceful life, feeling like you're doing something like bigger than yourself, feeling like you're a part of something that is actually making a positive influence on people's lives, that's like way more rewarding than any of the money ever could have been. Being able to do whatever I want with my family whenever I want, making breakfast and dinner with my kids every single day. Like those things are the things that just like, if you're looking for that, just stop making excuses and freaking go for it, because the only person that's stopping you is you. And if you commit to doing things different, your life will change, guaranteed.
You work hard in your business. On the Profit by Design podcast, we ask the big question. What has your business done for you lately? Hi, I'm Dr. Sabrina Starling. I'm the business psychologist, the author of the 4-Week Vacation and the How to Hire the Best series, as well as the founder of Tap the Potential, where we coach entrepreneurs like you to design sustainably profitable businesses that give you more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. Because after all, we believe work supports life, not the other way around. Weekly on the Profit by Design podcast, we bring you tips, tools, and strategies from our own experiences and from the experiences of our guests who are entrepreneurial thought leaders and real life entrepreneurs, all to support you in making intentionally profitable and sustainable business decisions to live the lifestyle you desire. Get started on your journey with us by downloading the training so many entrepreneurs are talking about right now, how to make your time worth $10,000 an hour at tapthepotential.com/10K. Profit designers, today I'm bringing you an interview with Andrew Tvardzik. Andrew Tvardzik has been a part of our Better Business, Better Life program for several years now. Andrew and his family came in committed to not just building a business and making sales, but to creating a great place to work. They wanted to create a great company. Andrew is sharing his experience with us in the Better Business, Better Life program. For those of you who are in our Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back community, you know that over the last week, we've been running the Better Business, Better Life Jumpstart, which is a preview of what goes on in our Better Business, Better Life program. So even if you have not been a part of that and you're just now hearing about it, as you listen to Andrew's story, you may be inspired and may decide you want to join our program. So as we end the interview, I give you the next steps for what you can do, and that is to talk with Darren Hopman. So if you would like to get in on the Better Business, Better Life Jumpstart and you've missed out on what's gone on in the community this week, no worries. When you connect with Darren, he will hook you up and give you all that you need to go through the Jumpstart. So just sit tight, listen to Andrew's story, and be inspired with what's possible in your business. Andrew, I want to hear from you first before you tell us your story and where you have been over the last 3 years. I want to hear about Cedar Ridge Log Homes and tell us what makes you guys unique and why are you so passionate about what you all do?
Oh, man. So Cedar Ridge Log Homes is a luxury log home. We're a full-service luxury log home builder in Western Maryland. And, man, why am I? Cedar Ridge, we build anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million, really, really nice luxury log homes, full custom design, really beautiful, and a beautiful part of Maryland and mountains. The purpose behind the business was really to provide a quality product, but more so was to provide a great place, just to build a great company. And I think that was really the main driver before, because we decided that we wanted to build a great company before we decided on what that company was going to look like. So I think that that's the biggest, our guys, just the interaction that we're having with our employees now and our guys, and just the passion that everybody in the company has for the business. I've never experienced anything like it. I truthfully didn't realize that it was possible. I knew conceptually it was possible, But to be living in it now, it can be overwhelming at times just because my life is so much different now than where it was 3 years ago from intentionally building this business the way that we've done it. And I wouldn't trade it for anything right now. It's awesome.
I think one of the things that you said in there just totally caught my attention. And I remember this about you and your family when you started with us in the Better Business, Better Life program. You guys were really clear. The way we've done it in the past and the experiences we've had in business in the past, we don't want to repeat that. We want to do it right. And we want to build a really good company. And your definition of that is, let me dig into that a little bit with you. How do you define a great company? What does that mean to you?
A great company to me, well, first of all, it provides a great value to the customer. So can't be a great company without providing value to your customers. So that's big. But then more so, it's a company that doesn't control you or anybody else in the company. So I think I've seen business owners in the past get to the point where they weren't being controlled by the business, but the structure of the business still required somebody to be controlled by it. So our vision was to create a business that nobody was controlled by this business. Everybody loved coming to work. Everybody had jobs that had purpose. And we kind of just thought, if we can build a great place, maybe we can all do it together. And with the employees, with everybody. And that's what it's turning into. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars recruiting. And now that we have our team the way that it is, my team is recruiting for me. I don't run any ads anymore. They tell me who's coming. They schedule the appointments. They schedule the interviews. And it's just it's crazy just to experience A players attracting A players and just see it actually happening and our guys too. This is crazy. But so we give a $500 tool bonus to all of our guys for referring people. And in the past businesses, when we've done that, guys would refer anybody just so that they get their tool bonus. But even with that, our guys are actively fighting to protect the company because they love their job so much that they don't want to see somebody come in and mess up the environment that we've created. So it's amazing. I mean, I've never seen anything quite like it, honestly. Not to say that about ourselves. It's just, it's awesome to be a part of it.
So you set out with this intention that this is what you wanted to create. And you said, we wanted to create a company that no one was controlled by. So that is the epitome of work supports life. And one of the things I really want to make a distinction around here is, we talk a lot about 4-week vacations for entrepreneurs, and that's a wonderful thing for a business owner to get to take that 4-week vacation. And what you're describing goes beyond that. You're talking about a business that supports life all around for everyone in the company, which is what we're about at Tap the Potential and helping people create that in the Better Business, Better Life program. Those businesses where work really supports life, where last week I spent a lot of time talking about the Tap the Potential solution and the point where you clearly define that sweet spot. And not only is it the business owner falling in love with the business, everyone who works on the team falls in love with the business, protects it, and nurtures it. And everything you described walked us through your implementation. You have a sustainably profitable business. There's a real clear sweet spot. You guys have innovated. You're different. You know how you stand out in the area. You've built your lean and mighty team. And now you're talking about your A players attracting A players using the Hire the Best A player attraction system. And it's happening in this cycle. And it doesn't take you, the owner, the CEO, being in the middle of it to make it happen.
No, actually, the more that I back myself out, the more that it happens.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah. The more that I try to put myself in the middle of everything, the harder it is. So I've stopped doing that, or at least I'm trying to.
So I hope everyone catches that. That is such a big point, that the more we take ourselves out of the business and really give the business and the team that space to grow and flourish, the healthier the business becomes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, Andrew, you said that your life is very different now than it was 3 years ago. And it really is. So take us back 3 years ago and tell us what your life was like then and what your life is like now.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just, before I even get started on this is a hard thing for me to talk. I get emotional every time I talk about this. So for anybody watching, if I get emotional, whatever, deal with it. So my dad owned a construction company for close to 25 years, and it was a burnout company. He was burnt out, and the time came for him to sell it to his partner. And so he sold it to his partner, and in 2015, him and I went into business together in construction. And for 3 years, we grinded and just picked up work. And, we went from, it was a 50-some employee company to it was just him and I again. So we're back doing everything and restarting and rebuilding. And what we realized after a couple of years was we were taking all of the bad habits from our burnout company and doing them again. And we hadn't taken the time in between the transition from the two businesses to learn a new set of skills. And so in 2018, I think it was about August, it was very clear that we were not accomplishing what we had set out to do with creating a business that was different than what we'd experienced in the past. We made a little bit of money. Profit was not great, but we were surviving. We were paying our bills, and we just knew it needed to be different. So we started talking to the Tap the Potential team. And right around that same time, this obscure opportunity came up on another part of Maryland. Actually, honestly, at first, my dad was just going to build a cabin for himself, just for a vacation house. And then what happened was all the material and everything showed up, and the contractor that he had hired was a scam and took the deposit and never showed up. So he had this house sitting in the woods, material on site, foundation there, with no builder. So the first house that we built was just a bootstrap, just do it. It happened. Literally, we didn't even plan it. It was supposed to have started 2 weeks ago, and there's nobody to build this. We need to start today. So we literally just built this house. And through that process, we started realizing this opportunity that was available in this area of Western Maryland that we had never even considered before. So we started sharing that with the Tap the Potential team, started bringing the opportunities, started talking about what we were seeing. And timing is just, if we hadn't started working with the Tap the Potential team before we built that house, I guarantee we would have taken this exact same habits into this company, or there's a good chance we wouldn't have even recognized the opportunity, honestly. So, we saw this opportunity and we decided to go for it. And so for the first year and a half, it was really hard. We made a ton of mistakes.
I want to hear the whole story, but I would just want to share something I remember about you guys during that time.
Yeah.
You showed up at every meeting. One of you was there at every meeting unless there was something, severe going on. And we work with a lot of contractors that Tap the Potential. And oftentimes it's easy to miss meetings because things go wrong on a job site and you go there and you got to take care of it. You guys would call in from your trucks in the middle of winter in this cold, it had to be 20 degrees or below and snow everywhere. And that was the dedication that you guys had to, we've got to do it differently. And we're going to use everything the Tap the Potential team throws at us. We don't want to miss a single thing. And I want to acknowledge that because that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we did. It was a lot of frozen beard phone calls, and we'd be working outside on a roof. And because when we dropped that, we built the house, and especially the first house we started in November, and winters in Western Maryland are brutal. They're not anything like Eastern Maryland. And so it was rough, but I think the thing was, we just knew we believed so badly that we couldn't go back to the old ways. And we knew that it was going to take a ton of work to learn the new skills. And so we really didn't know what else to do other than just show up, really. It was just keep showing up and hopefully we figure this thing out. And so it took a couple years of really working on our processes. We had no systems before. We were old school carpenter, contractor, your typical get a bid a bunch. There was nothing innovative about what we were doing. It was very typical. Fast forward to end of February 2019, we were about to go out of business. We were living in 2.5 hours away. I was separated from my family for most of the week. We were really low on money. We had a house, a spec house that we had built that didn't do what we expected it to do. And it was really bad. But we just I kind of felt like at the time, we had found this old barn that had a bunch of race car parts in it. And we were like, man, that could be a race car one day. That could definitely be a race car. And so we just started putting all these pieces together. And that was how the business started. It was like, I think that one day this could be a race car. Okay. So 2019, the car wasn't running. It wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing, but then all of a sudden it fired up and it was like sputtering and it was rough and it was blowing out smoke, but it was moving. In 2020, we got that thing running like a top. Like we really got that car running and really we realized that this really is a race car. And then this year, we realized the potential that race car has and that the business has. And so this year we've committed the entire year to systems. The systems that we've implemented already this year are like, I don't know of any contractor that's doing business the way that we're doing it now. When we talk about it to our guys, we talk about new school construction. We call ourselves new school construction.
I love that.
For anybody that's on this call, that's where I was, you know how hard that is. Like it crushes you. Like there's no mental space. There's no family space. There's none of that. And now I have it. And more significant to me than the dollars is like my mind is free to really see the opportunities as they're coming and really evaluate like what's the next direction? Where do we want to take this? How big do we want to make it? And for the first time in my life, I feel like now I have this awesome race car that I'm sitting in the driver's seat. And then when people started seeing us sitting in the driver's seat, then all of a sudden this pit crew came over and they're like, hey, that's a sweet race car. Like, can we be your pit crew? And at the part where we were talking about A players attracting A players, it's happening now. And they're just gravitating towards this business that's providing a great opportunity, that cares about its employees, that, the owners are all committed to the success of the company. Our focus for the business is legacy business. Our focus is on the third generation. So our systems have to be strong enough to make it through anything. And it's just like to be where I am now and think about where I was in 2018. It's a different life. I mean, it really is. Where we live, I live in a beautiful house right on a lake. My wife drives a nice car. We go on great vacations. But the money really wasn't like the biggest motivator. The money to me is more of a scorecard to say, hey, you're doing it. Like you're profitable. You can go on vacation. You can dream bigger. You can do what you want to do. Or before those, there wasn't even the space in my mind to think about them. So it was just so overwhelming.
Yeah. And, I think that's one of the biggest things that stands out to me is your quality of life now compared to where it was. You're healthy. You've committed to your health in this year ahead, and you've done big things there, which I want you to share in just a minute.
Yeah.
You are no longer separated from your family going to work. You don't have to drive long distances to go to work. The leadership team in your company, which is your family, they have the opportunity. Everyone has the opportunity to take time away from the business. Mm-hmm. And that just the peace of mind that you have that is so different from where you all were. And I know there were points, and the point that you described in February 2019 was a very low point where it was really hard. And I think we all hit those points, Andrew, where we're like, this isn't working. We've done everything and it's just not coming together. We want to throw in the towel. What words of wisdom do you have for the rest of us when we're in that place?
Well, I can say that I honestly believe that would have been the biggest mistake of my life if we had turned the towel there. We were months away from the other side.
Yeah.
I get emotional because I can just take myself back to those meetings with the team where it was bad. It was, the opportunity was still there. It wasn't that, but we'd just been grinding for so long and committing to something. And I think too, when you commit to something different, it's really hard to trust it, like in your soul, because what you've done in the past has sustained you. I knew that what I had done in the past had gotten me here, and I could live like that. And there's part of me that's like, oh, you don't need more. You don't need, like, be grateful for what you have. Like, and so there was a lot of gremlins, a lot of talk in my mind that was like, you don't deserve this, you're not capable of this. And just to keep pushing the story of the miner that stopped when he was 3 feet away from the gold vein. Like, that was literally where we were at the time, and just consistently not stopping, I think, and just committing to doing things different and believing in it when it was just a faith thing at that point. Like, we hadn't seen other companies do this. This was our first time working with a business coach. It wasn't like somebody said, hey, if you follow this path, this is what your life is going to look like. It was just like, I believe that my life can look different. Now I need to find the tools to make that happen. And as you're going through that, it can be super in your head. Like you can just talk yourself out of it 1,000 times, but just don't talk yourself out of it. I've seen it. Like now I can say, I have seen it, and I can be that person to somebody else and say, listen, I can name off 5 businesses right now that were in a similar place to me. And just through consistently showing up over and over and over again, their lives are totally different now. And the lives, not only are their lives different, but the lives of everybody around them elevates. And so just don't stop, because you're just going to hurt yourself. It's not worth stopping.
That is such an important point. You were like 3 feet away from the gold. And I remember, back then, we didn't say the Tap the Potential solution is a guaranteed path to a better business that gives you more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever, because we were still testing all the pieces and making sure that it worked. And so now I love that we can say, yes, this is a guaranteed path. We've had multiple businesses that we've taken through this process. So I think that piece alone, some of that reassurance that you're speaking to, that like there were no examples, that we weren't sure and we needed to know. And it was really hard because the gremlins were there and the things you were saying in your head could have undermined you. And just to illustrate, when Andrew says we were 3 feet away from the goal, this is February 2019. Darren, I remember the phone conversation that Darren had with you guys as you were talking about what was going on. He called me and he said, Sabrina, they're so close to giving up. And what are we going to do? We need to help them. We need to, make sure they don't give up because they're so close. And so we worked with you guys. We told you, hang in there. Don't give up. Don't give up now.
Definitely held our hands. Definitely.
Yes.
We needed it. I mean, we needed it then. And you did. You provided for us. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, we were not going to let you back down because we could see that you were so close. So, but to really illustrate how close, a month later, you guys came to the retreat. You came to the retreat and your team stayed behind and you left the retreat. And as you were walking out the door, you said, I have to tell you something, Dr. Sabrina. I said, what? And you said, we just closed $1 million sale while I'm here at the retreat and my team did it without me. I was like, high five. I mean, that was amazing. And that really was where the corner, you guys started to turn that corner and they shifted from there. So let's go back to that point. What was it at that time where you saw the corner turning and what pieces got you through that?
Okay. So I think the fact that we just had the work, that was big. And a big part of that was just believing that we could get jobs that size because we had never done work quite like that before. And what turned? There was so much that turned. This was the biggest thing. On that retreat, I realized the structure that our business was following was totally unsustainable. And we were all getting in each other's way. And the team, we had a really, really, really capable team that was unorganized. And so people were stepping on each other, people were getting mad, and it was continuing this cycle of, creating this environment that we didn't really want. And then 2019, we organized. And that was just that alone, just creating a structure for the business was incredible. And then in 2020, we had our revenue went up over 300% in 2020. And our profit, we had our profits that were averaging around 10%. And it's not like we can't say, oh, it's a 50% profit increase. It's like, no, we went from no profit to 10% profit on a multi-million-dollar business. Like there's not a multiplier for that. It was not it wasn't real to, hey, it's a profitable company. And now too, we preach profit to our employees and to the team, and our whole team is focused on profit sharing. And the team loves it. They embrace it. They talk about it. And these are just carpenters, they're guys, they're just laborers, but they fight for the profit of the company and they protect it because we've just shown them the value in them work. Like how does it benefit you to work for a profitable company? And we do that. And we take really good care of our employees and we have the best benefits of anybody in the area. And it's incredible. It really is.
So when Andrew says that their team members embrace profit, they really do. We've had some of your team members in our leadership boot camp program, and they are on it. They're looking for opportunities to help the company be profitable because they understand that it's in their best interest to work in a profitable company. And this kind of profit in the construction industry is almost unheard of because the margins are so tight and it's typically a very competitive industry. And so a couple of pieces that I want to point out that you guys have done that have really made the difference is from the get-go, you identified your immutable laws and you guys have used them repeatedly when you've been faced with tough decisions. And you talk about the survival trap here as part of the Jumpstart, Andrew. And with the survival trap, you guys had lots of opportunities that looked like they were somewhat aligned with your vision, and you would bring them to our team and you would say, I need a spot coach, or, can you hop on a call and help us talk through this because we were curious about this opportunity. And as we would talk it through and we would look at, well, does it align with your vision? Does it align with your immutable laws? You guys were able to suss out really quickly which opportunities were the right ones to go after and which ones were the ones to say no. And you guys have said no more often than you've said yes. And that's a big deal.
Said no a lot. And I think it's important too, we said no when it was terrifying to say no, like internally, when there were times when we turned down jobs that were like, I'm going to turn down this job and I'm not totally sure how I'm going to pay my mortgage next month. And that was awesome. I mean, it was just to your point with the immutable laws, we identified that when we don't follow these, our life doesn't get better. It gets worse. So any job that caused us to compromise on our core values, and our immutable laws are just the core values of my family, really, just kind of the values that my dad instilled in us in construction and carpentry and good work, quality, caring for people. And now we give those to everybody. Like our immutable laws are in our contracts that we give to our customers. And we tell them, this is the commitment that we're making to you. You can hold us to this standard. We're also going to hold you to this standard. And I do the same thing in interviews and with our guys. They get a copy of the immutable laws and I say, listen, I'm going to hold you to this standard and you also need to hold me to this standard. And so just becoming just this, it's just the atmosphere now. And it's awesome. Nobody's threatened by them. Nobody is hurt. Nobody's feelings are hurt by them. It's just, this is our company and this is how we do it. And the immutable laws are great too. It's like quality work, call your customer back, communicate. There's nothing bad in it. So nobody has any problem with them ever. It's like, oh yeah, that's good. That's what good companies do. So we're good with that. And it's been great. And it's changed. We've sussed out so many bad customers because of it, where normally, and we don't take leads because of it. We don't tell people to refer us out because we're not confident that they're going to refer customers that are going to fit our immutable laws. Some people we test to refer out if they know us and they know our business, but we really fight to protect those immutable laws because those are what keep us safe. This is what keep us from hurting ourselves.
Yes, that is the velvet rope around your company that people have to fall in line with your immutable laws to do business with you. Clients, team members, vendors, you've used them in all situations. So last week when I was immutable laws, I said, this is the one thing that I can give you that's going to have the greatest impact on building your culture and how you do business and creating that business that's really right for you. And what you're sharing, Andrew, is just, you're just putting that big exclamation point behind how valuable that is. The other thing that you did that I want to point out that's very different is how you've innovated. And I want to share the Tap the Potential solution and point this out because I think this is an area where so many businesses stop short with the opportunity to stand out, be different, and really claim the difference in the business. So where you sit now, how do you see you guys as different from the other contractors in the area they're building up there?
So I actually see us different from other contractors nationally, even beyond local competition. I honestly don't know of another full service log home builder in the country. The log home industry is a very old school industry where you're buying kits from a mill and you find your contractor and put them together. And that's just how the log home industry's been forever. And when we got into it, we were like, it was a new industry for us. We had been in building I'm a third generation builder. So building was nothing new, but log home specific was something that we had never really gotten into before. And so when we got into that industry, we were like, this is whack. Like, this is not how building should go. Like, how do our customers know what they like? Their customers, you're sending them all over the place and everything's all scattered. And there was a lot of pride from other contractors. Like, I don't even have a website. I don't do nothing. I just get my leads from this guy. And I'm like, yeah, but you have no control over any of it. And so we just started looking at it, realizing that that didn't work for us. And so I really believe that our company is really going to eventually, at some point in the next 10 years, our company is going to revolutionize the log home industry, because what we're doing works so well and so much better than what the typical structure follows, that if maybe nobody else will follow us and we'll just dominate, that'd be great. But I think it's going to start catching on because it was an industry that was ripe for change, and we're providing that change.
And every industry is ripe for change. You guys decided, you claimed how you wanted to do things, and you said, this is how we're going to do it. And you saw an opportunity, and it was a small glimmer of an opportunity to stand out. It wasn't like this big screaming billboard that came at you and said, hey, you could do this and you could be different in this way. It was this like, hey, I think we could do this and we could be different up here and stand out, because you started getting feedback from other vendors in the area that what you were doing was different. And it was that listening to that feedback and really looking at what's resonating here in this area with the kind of people we want to work with and the kinds of people we want to serve. So it's all that pumpkin planning piece where you're really paying attention to what pieces work. And it was just a little bit of differentiation where you've really kind of created your blue ocean space. And now you're going to revolutionize the industry.
Yeah. And to the pumpkin planning point too, that was huge. Just understanding that you can just ask your customers what they want. I always asked them what they wanted for what they wanted me to build for them, but not what they wanted as far as like an experience. And they told us, they just told us what they wanted. So we did it. And it turns out other people like them also want the same thing. So go figure.
Amazing. And so that's, just to tie it back to some of the concepts that I talked about last week here in the Jumpstart, this is, you understood your top 20%, your clients who were your best clients, and you talked to them and asked them about what kind of building experience do you want to have? What kind of, as you're designing your new second home, because a lot of these are second homes for people, what's important to you? And so it was questions like that. And it wasn't just one person's answer. You looked at multiple people's answers and we helped you identify those common threads of what was in there. And that's how you've innovated. And now you're really standing out. And so those of you listening, you're probably thinking about, well, I don't know if I can revolutionize my industry. You absolutely can. All of us are surrounded in industries with business owners who are doing things the same way they've always been done. And, Andrew's coined a term. This is new school construction. Like, whoa, that catches attention. Andrew, I just want to share with you, I don't know if you're able to see the chat that we have going on here, but Darren Hopman says, I love Cedar Ridge Log Homes. Steve Dale says he loves your story. And he's pointing out in the construction industry, it's very common for the contractor to feel that being profitable is unfair to their clients. And he says there is so much wrong in that statement.
Yeah, story for that.
I want to invite you to share that story because it really just puts 5 exclamation points behind what Steve Dale just said.
Yeah, so right at the beginning of this year, right, COVID affected everybody. March a year ago was chaos for every business owner in America. And we had just started a project. We dropped the foundation on February 11th. So we were 1 month into about an $800,000, $850,000 build. And businesses were shutting down. People were closing. This is happening. It was happening so fast. And I got a call from one of my customers, and she was a very good customer. I had a great relationship with her. We'd started her house for February 11th. And she's a nurse, and she worked in Baltimore, and she was nervous that we were not, she was in it. She was in COVID. Everything, her whole life was COVID. And she was like, everything in my life is falling apart right now. Is my dream home also falling apart? And I was able to reassure her in the moment. We've been actually over the last, and this is crazy because February 11th was when we were like, or February was when we were like almost ready to be done. And this was literally 2 months later. And I was able to share with her, or not even 2 months later, I was able to share with her, we've been taking steps over the last years where actually, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. My timeline's off. we had been taking steps to, prepare the company for this. And what we had put in 2019, we hit 2020. If we hadn't changed what we did in 2019, there's no way we would have made it through 2020. And not only did we make it through 2020, it was the best year we've ever had in any of our businesses as far as profit goes. And, just to be able to tell her, we are profitable, you don't have to worry. Even if they shut us down, we still have money in the bank and we are going to finish your project. And she was instantly relieved. For me, it felt like at least I can give her this, like everything in her life is falling apart, but at least I can give her this security. And that was really the first time that I realized that my customers depend on me being profitable. And so I actually talk to my customers about profit now. I don't necessarily get into the numbers and stuff, but I make sure that they know we are a profitable business and we are going to make money on their house because we respect them enough to make that a priority. And our customers actually talk to us about profit sometimes. They'll ask us how things are going, if things are coming in or under budget. And, because we've told them that we are profitable and they want to make sure, are you really? And it's not an obscure thing to talk about anymore, which is crazy. Like I didn't realize, like Steve said, I didn't realize that as a carpenter, I could get to the point where I was actually just talking to my customers casually about profit.
Our customers need us to be profitable so they can depend on us to be there. And what your client did when she called and she said, everything else is falling apart. Businesses are shutting down. Are you guys going to back out on me too? And you were able to reassure her, no, we're going to build your dream home. This is still, and I think one of the biggest lessons from 2020 that I've experienced is how important our hopes and dreams are. And when they get taken away from us, what that feels like. And you were able to reassure her, your dream is not going away.
Yeah.
Because we have built a profitable, sustainable company and we're going to make it happen for you. That is huge. And so, last week in the Jumpstart, we talk about value add and how do you add value for your top clients and customers. Security, because you're a profitable company, is a value add because you're going to be around to serve them. So Andrew, I'm so appreciative of you coming here and openly sharing your story with the entrepreneurs in our Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back group. You have built a company and you're continuing. I mean, it's a honing and refining process. It's never done, but you're just making it better and better. You've built that business where work supports life. And I hope this has been very inspiring for all of you listening today. I want to make a couple of comments as we close. One of those is if you want to be one of the 5 joining our Better Business, Better Life program, your next step is to meet with Darren Hopman, our success team lead, and he will walk you through a profit audit of your business. And we're going to make sure that it's a good fit for you moving forward with us. But we would love to support more business owners doing what Andrew is doing and really building these businesses that give you more time for what matter and more money in your bank account than ever. We want healthy, strong, small businesses out there. And just like Andrew's disrupting the construction industry, we're looking to disrupt entrepreneurship all around and just really get that message out there that grinding it out grinds us up and there's a better way to do it. And we want to guide business owners through that, tap the potential solution to get you all through to the other side, just like Andrew here is on the other side and getting to live, just really embrace life. That's what I see you doing, Andrew. It's a beautiful thing.
It feels good. There wasn't a guarantee. I didn't have necessarily a guarantee when we first did this, but I can say that following the course that we followed, if you're committed to changing your mindset and you're committed to doing things different, I can't imagine an environment where you're a situation where you're not a guarantee to turn it around. Like just the skills that we've learned and the consistently showing up week after week to coaching and challenging little ways of thinking here and there. And just, it's literally, I look at my life 2018, and it's like BC and AD. Like for me, it's like, that was old me. This is new me. And like, it feels, my whole body feels different. Physically, you had mentioned earlier, like, I'm in better shape. Like I work out now. Everything about my presence, way more. The money is cool, but money is not the motivator. Having a peaceful life, feeling like you're doing something like bigger than yourself, feeling like you're a part of something that is actually making a positive influence on people's lives, that's like way more rewarding than any of the money ever could have been. Being able to do whatever I want with my family, whenever I want, making breakfast and dinner with my kids every single day. Like those things are the things that just like, if you're looking for that, just stop making excuses and freaking go for it, because the only person that's stopping you is you. And if you commit to doing things different, your life will change, guaranteed.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the commitment, you were so clear. We're doing it different. We don't know how, but we're doing it different. And then the not giving up and trusting that you're there and that we can guide you through that. And you really allowed us to guide you. And I so appreciate that. So for those of you listening, your next step is to make an appointment with Darren. And he's going to go through that profit audit with your business. And we're going to make sure you're a good fit for what we're offering, because we want to set you up for success. You can do that at tapthepotential.com/moving forward. And thank you so much, Andrew. It's been a wonderful conversation, very inspiring.
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Join our conversation in the Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back Facebook community at tapthepotential.com/group. Share your aha moments from today's episode, ask me questions, and join in on the fun with your fellow entrepreneurs on the journey to designing sustainably profitable businesses that give you more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. And finally, share today's episode with a friend if you know a friend who would enjoy it. This is real life business. Keep your chin up, keep moving forward. You got this. If you're loving the Profit by Design podcast and have gotten any value out of it for your business or your life, would you mind doing two things? Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode, and please leave us a review. Our listener reviews help us get into the top 10 of all entrepreneurship podcasts so that more entrepreneurs like you discover us. Your review is critical in helping us make a difference for more entrepreneurs who are ready to take their life back.